Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is a continuation of the previous video with the drive shaft, where I tried to replace the drive shaft with a new one to try and get rid of this whining noise that is coming from underneath, possibly the gearbox. So as you've seen in the previous video, I wasn't able to fix it by replacing the drive shaft. So the last thing we have to do is basically remove the whole front of this van and take the engine out with the gearbox out. You could just remove the gearbox if you just want to refurbish the gearbox, if you want to work just on that side of things. In my case, I'm going to be doing a bit of maintenance on this engine. There's a lot of leaky gaskets, so I would rather just remove it completely out of here and work on it, maybe on an engine stand. I've got a couple of different ways I can work on it. So that's what I'm going to do in this video. I'm going to show you the whole removal process, and hopefully we'll end up with the engine and the gearbox out of the engine bay. So as I like to say, let's not waste any time and let's get started. I'm going to start by removing the wheels first. After the wheel removal, I'm going to remove this plastic cover here that covers the crankshaft pulley. Next step, after removal of the wheels and the crankshaft pulley cover, I'm going to remove the side bolts here on the bumper. These are T40 Torx. The reason for removing the number plate is this hidden T30. So remove these 3 bolts from the front, and then you've got one here and another one on the other side. After the removal of these 4 bolts that hold this slam panel, we removed 1 bolt here and 2 bolts here. This will release the locking mechanism. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen up the clamp for the intercooler. Now the next step is going to be to remove the arc clips that hold the radiator. So you just want to slide these out. So slide these out on both sides. These are the R clips, so just remove these first, and then you can lift the radiator. The low pressure hose from the power steering. You've got two bolts which are attached with brackets to the hose on the gearbox on the right hand side if you're standing in front of the vehicle. So there's a quick release connection just above the steering rack, and you can just pull on the hose, and that will be the correct way of removing this low pressure hose. Now the high pressure hose is a different story. I've got a video on it, on the removal and the installation of that hose. So if you want to see how this is done, please feel free to check my channel. I'm going to do this very quickly as I'm just doing a lot of things in order to remove the engine and the gearbox, so I want to save a bit of time. I'm also going to remove this under wheel arch as well. The next step will be to remove this high pressure power steering hose. I've shown you in the previous video when I installed this pump how to remove it and install it. I'm going to run you again very quickly without going into too much detail. So you want to remove this 17mm nut here. I've pre-loosened this, so this is easy in my case because I've replaced this hose. Normally this is so badly rusted that it's absolutely just gonna snap. You've got one bolt here. This is 13mm bolt, so I've loosened this up as well. I believe this is probably one of the last ones here in place. I've removed the other ones just to show you a bit quicker. So once you take that off, you've got another one right here which I've removed. Then you've got another one right there which I've removed, and then you've got one more underneath which I've removed as well. So you've got a 16mm bolt and a 6mm Allen, and this connects the high pressure and low pressure hoses into the power steering rack. So I'm gonna try and show you where these things are just to save you a bit of time. So we had this bolt that I just showed you, it was here. So take that out, and now what I'm gonna do to make things a little bit easier, I'm gonna remove this rubber bushing here, and you've got a 21mm bolt here and an 18mm bolt here. So this is the high pressure and low pressure hoses. This is where the 6mm Allen bolt was. You want to remove that. So that's the transmission engine mount out. I'm gonna place caps on these hoses just so I don't get any dirt on them and I don't want to damage the O-ring. So I'm going to place this cap on top of the O-ring, and that will protect it during the removal. And that's how you remove the high pressure power steering pump hose. As you see, I've got caps on both ends just to protect it. In the next step, I'm going to start removing some of these electrical components here. So I'm going to start with the plugs. We've got a sensor here, and there's a little metal connector or a metal clip, so you want to pull that clip out and this will come out. And this is the crankshaft sensor. It's a 10mm bolt. I'm going to remove the bolt, take the sensor out, and then I'm going to replace the bolt back in place. I'm going to show you how to remove the left hand side or the offside drive shaft. It's going to be very similar like the driver's side. So what we want to do is you want to remove these two bolts. We've already removed this 32mm nut here on the hub or the drive shaft splines, and we're going to have three 13mm bolts on the inner side of the CV joint. So let's start by removing these. I'm going to use this copper hammer in order not to damage the bolts. Let's remove the third bolt. You've got 18mm here. I wanted to show you a couple of things that I missed to record at the time of the removal. It was super awkward to remove the cables on the starter motor, which is right here at the back. So you've got these two, hopefully you can see it. You've got these two and one more here. This is a ground cable, so I had to remove these, and then I can remove the whole wiring harness. So this now is going to give me an opportunity to clean up everything properly, tidy up this engine bay, give it a good deep clean, and continue on with the restoration of this van. We're going to rebuild the gearbox, we're going to change all gaskets, whatever needs to be done around the engine. We're going to be doing some maintenance around the intake manifold here. I'm going to remove the intake manifold and clean the ports. As you can see, I've got really heavy leaks here from the turbo pipes, and it's leaking underneath the catalytic converter, and it's a mess. So this needs sorted.